Hello everyone and welcome to today's video on retailing marketing. I am Dr. RajniKshirsagar, BBA section head, assistant professor, Department of Management Studies at Hirachan Nimchan College of Commerce, Solapur. I welcome all. Let's begin by understanding where the word retail actually comes from. The word retail is derived from a French word retailer, which means to cut off a piece, or in other words, to break the bulk. So, based on this origin, we can say that a retailer is a dealer or a trader who sells goods in small quantities rather than in bulk. Now, let's understand where retail fits into the overall distribution process. Retail is the final step in the distribution of merchandise or products. The retailer is the last entity in the supply chain or distribution channel. In simple terms, a retailer acts as a chain or a link between the wholesaler and the final consumer, and that is what makes a retailer unique. It involves a direct interface with the customer. No other player in the supply chain interacts with the end consumer the way retailer does. Let's look at a formal definition of retailing. Retailing includes all those activities involved in selling goods and services directly to final consumers for their personal or non-business use. Notice the key phrases here. Personal or non-business use. That's what separates retail transaction from wholesale or business to business transactions. So exactly, who is a retailer? A retailer is the last person in the distribution channel. He or she is responsible for satisfying the wants of final consumer. And retail trade as a concept refers to selling variety of goods in small quantities to final consumer. Now let's talk about what constitutes a retail store. A retail store is a business establishment that sells goods and merchandise to consumers at retail prices. Simply put, a retail store is a place of business for retailing goods. Retailer establishments are often referred to as retail stores. These retail stores consist of sale of physical goods or merchandise from a fixed location such as a departmental store, a boutique, a shopping mall, a hypermarket or a supermarket. So as you can see, retail store is actually a broad umbrella term that covers many different formats, and we will be exploring these formats in more detail shortly. Moving on, let's understand the concept of retail management. Retail management refers to the various processes which help customers procure the desired merchandise from retail stores for their end use. Let's expand on that a little bit. Retail management includes all the steps required to bring customers into the store and fulfill their buying needs. In simpler words, retail management makes shopping a pleasurable experience, and it ensures that customers leave the store with a smile. So essentially, retail management helps customers shop without any difficulty. Now that we understand what retailing and retail management mean, let's move to the main topic of today's video, that is different types of retailing. As you can see, broadly, retailing can be classified into three types: organized retail, unorganized retail, and e-commerce retail. Let's go through each of these one by one, starting with organized retailing. Organized retailing refers to the trading activities undertaken by licensed retailers, that is, retailers who are registered for sales tax, income tax, and other statutory requirements. In other words, organized retailing is a process of selling goods or merchandise all under one roof in a fixed location. Organized retailing includes formats such as supermarkets, shopping malls, hypermarkets, departmental stores, franchise stores, retail chain stores, and so on. Here you can see a few visual examples of organized retail formats: large retail outlets, shopping complexes, and well-known retail chains like Walmart. These images give you a sense of scale and structured nature of organized retailing, along with the rising trend in Indian consumer spending in this space. Now let's move to the second type, that is unorganized retailing. It refers to the traditional or conventional formats of low cost retailing. The unorganized sector consists of all private enterprises having less than 10 workers, operating on a proprietary or partnership basis. Some key characteristics of unorganized retailing are: it is a low cost retailing, one of the easiest way to generate self-employment, generally a family-run business. Purchases are typically made from big stores on credit. Sales too often happen on credit based on personal contact with the customers. There is a close contact with customers. And overall, it is very convenient to all the customers. Let's look at some specific traditional retail formats that fall under unorganized retailing in India. Mandis, hats or weekly bazaars, melas, local bania or kirana shops, handcart and pavement vendors, small restaurants and tea stalls, owner manned general and provisional stores, single owner manned medical stores, the local dhobi, pan shops and convenience stores. Now let's look at each one of these formats visually one by one. This is a mandi. Mandis are traditional wholesale markets commonly seen for agricultural produce like grains, fruits, and vegetables, where farmers and traders come together to buy and sell in bulk. This is a hart, also known as weekly bazaar. As the name suggests, these markets are set up on specific days of a week in a particular location, offering a wide variety of goods, often at a very affordable prices. This is a mela. Melas are typically seasonal or occasional based fairs, often tied to festivals or local events where multiple vendors set up temporary stalls to sell their goods. These are local bania or kirana shops, the small neighborhood grocery and provisional stores that most of us are very familiar with. They are usually family run, located close to residential areas, and are a key part of everyday convenience shopping in India. Continuing with our list of traditional retail formats, here you can see some more examples of owner manned general and provisional stores. These are typically small, single owner outlets that stock everyday household essentials and cater to the immediate neighborhood. Here are a few more examples from the same category. Small, locally run outlets such as handcart vendors, tea stalls, medical stores, pawn shops that we discussed in our list earlier. These formats continue to thrive because of their convenience, personal touch, and easy accessibility to customers. Now let's move to the third and final type of retailing, that is e-commerce retail. E-commerce retail refers to the sale or purchase of goods and services conducted over computer-mediated networks. Here, the goods and services are ordered over these networks, but the payment and the ultimate delivery of products may be conducted either online or offline. These formats has grown tremendously in recent years and has changed the way consumers shop. So, to summarize today's session, we started by some understanding the meaning and the origin of word retail, looked at the definition of retailing and retail management. Then we explored three types of retailing: organized, unorganized, and e-commerce retail, along with their various formats. Thank you for watching this video. These are e-material references. See you in the next video. For any queries, please comment in the session. Thank you.